Looking through a critical lens, social inclusion and the play program.
Right to Play is now an international charity organization that uses sport and play to educate and empower children and youth to overcome the effects of poverty, conflict, and disease in disadvantaged communities. In Canada, as of 2011, Aboriginal people make up 4.3% of the total population. Aboriginal children under the age of 14 make up 7% of the total child population, and youth ages from 15 to 24 make up 9% of the total youth population. Right to Play has recognized that right in our own backyards, we have youth that are facing very serious issues. Data collected by the United Nations often puts the quality of life of some Aboriginal communities as being close to that of those in developing nations. Right to Play has recognized that in Aboriginal communities, there is a poor quality and lack of consistency in youth programs, a limited sense of opportunity and narrow vision for the future, interpersonal conflict, addiction to alcohol and drugs, and a lack of healthy activities for youth. In June of 2010, Right to Play, with funding from the Ontario Ministry of Aboriginal Affairs and other funding partners, initiated the Promoting Life Skills in Aboriginal Youth Play program. Since then, Right to Play has partnered with 45 First Nations across Ontario to implement the Play program.
Right to Play has created 5 streams to their play program. This allows them to tailor the play program to the community that the program is being implemented in. The Sport for Development program incorporates international sport for development expertise with a sport deeply rooted in Aboriginal culture and history. The program has a 5-pronged approach to teaching life skills. Community Outreach Speaker Series is facilitated by National Lacrosse League players and Right to Play staff as a way to inspire participants to play lacrosse. The lacrosse as a creator's game component encourages kids to reconnect to their culture through the sport of lacrosse, and they are taught the origins of the sport as the creator's game. Lacrosse skills clinics for children and youth teach lacrosse skill enhancement for youth and children. The life skills activities for children and youth are learning activities focused on leadership and team building. They also do an equipment distribution with Under Armour to children in need. Program is a 4 to 6 week summer day camp program for children aged 4 to 15. It's staffed by local youth who take on the role of camp counselor and activity leaders. The program integrates cultural, recreational, and learning activities. All youth staff participate in a comprehensive week-long training workshop led by the community mentor and a Right to Play representative to prepare themselves for the roles. The training includes sessions on behavior management, child safety, child protection, leading recreational programs, promoting inclusion, and strategies to infuse each day of fun. Leadership Program is a youth-centered initiative inclusive of the cultural traditions and practices of First Nations people in Canada. This program is designed to foster hope and confidence among youth so they can become powerful agents of change in their communities. The program is designed to enhance participants' awareness of their leadership potential, attitudes about self and others, leadership, planning, public speaking, and assessment skills, ability to set and achieve goals, enthusiasm towards taking on leadership roles in their community through youth-led events. The school program is the result of Right to Play's partnership with local primary schools, as well as the ongoing dedication of youth leaders and community elders who staff the program on a regular basis. The program runs 3 to 5 days a week from 3:30 to 6:30 throughout the school year, October to June. This is designed to offer children aged 6 to 12 with a balance of arts and cultural enrichment, indoor and outdoor recreation, nutrition, and daily support. It also provides children with broadened learning opportunities that support developmentally appropriate cognitive, social, physical, and emotional outcomes. Our development program integrates professional hockey players into the school and arena setting. Clinics range from 4 to 10 days with the goal to re-inspire local coaches, children, and youth to make hockey a part of their daily lives. The program is comprised of teaching life skills through hockey, an equipment distribution where hockey equipment is provided for children in communities based on need, motivational school visits promote team building and leadership, a coach certification program focuses on skill building, and Hockey Canada certification for coaches and referees. On-ice hockey clinics promote life and hockey skills, and the off-ice life skills portion focuses on play-based learning activities focused on health, nutrition, leadership, and goal setting. Right to Play's application process is quite intensive. Communities or organizations who feel like they have a need for a program like Play will submit an application form that is almost like a bid. Youth have a vision for how children and youth can be more engaged in their communities, have a real commitment towards supporting whoever is locally hired to facilitate the program on a day-to-day basis. They must also guarantee that they can provide at least 50% or 6 months of salary for the member of their society who will implement the program. They also have to ensure that there is space for a program to take place and accommodation for the Right to Play staff to stay in during their community visit. After the application process has been reviewed by Right to Play, they send a team in to do a needs assessment of the community to determine the needs and which program will benefit the community the most. After the assessment, Right to Play will return to the community with a proposal. The community has a chance to add, question, or clarify any aspects of the program to ensure that it reflects what they want to see in their organization. A community member is recruited and hired by the community and is required to have previous experience working with children and youth, planning and implementing child-friendly programs, and liaising with community leaders. Their job will be to implement the Play program after they have participated in training. There are 6 recommendations made in the literature for sport-based and recreational programs to use to promote socially inclusive programs. How does Right to Play stack up? The various programs are held in safe environments in the sense that they are led and supervised by a number of staff members. Furthermore, the programs are being held in spaces that the community has a sense of understanding and familiarity with, promoting a sense of safety. These safe spaces promote proximity in the community, as it's one of the 5 pillars of social inclusion. A safe environment also highlights the need for the programs to emphasize a philosophy of nonviolence even when the sports include physical contact. The program may be lacking in this sense in terms of the hockey and lacrosse for development programs. The goals of these 2 programs are set out as very positive. However, the goals nor the description of the programs address the potential violence of the sports and the impacts of violence, for example, exclusion. The Right to Play program recognizes that the Aboriginal population has experienced social and cultural marginalization. As a result, the program aims to build a sense of self-esteem, increase self-value, develop confidence, identify leadership skills and abilities of the children, youth, and elders in the community. The after-school program in particular claims to provide children with broadened learning opportunities that support developmentally appropriate cognitive, social, physical, and emotional outcomes. The program provides a safe space for children to grow and develop. The Hockey and Lacrosse for Development programs provide children with opportunities to develop skills and express their confidence in the sport. The programs definitely provide an opportunity for children to develop and display confidence. However, whether the children actually develop and display confidence is debatable, as there are no measurement tools to assess this goal or outcome. This is especially important among participants who regularly face conflict and adversity in their everyday lives. This also highlights the need for programs to facilitate connections with peers, nurture supportive friendships, and promote communication and conflict resolution skills. One of the main goals of the different Play programs is to build social networks amongst children, youth, and peers. For example, a goal of the Summer Sun program is for individuals to develop strong and lasting friendships with children, youth, and elders in the community, whereas a goal for the Lacrosse and Hockey development program is to develop new friendships and relationships with peers. As you can tell, the programs have the same goal of promoting social networks and definitely do provide opportunities for individuals to engage and interact with one another. This is important among participants who lack access to adults they can look up to and trust. This also highlights the need for programs to go beyond traditional role models and to provide direct support and guidance to participants as they make moral and economic decisions in their everyday lives. Right to Play recognizes that a lack of education and high unemployment rates exist among the Aboriginal population, but it does not address these two issues in their programs. Thus, the Play program lacks in terms of providing Aboriginal communities of much-needed moral and economic support. The Play program is able to connect kids with leaders in their community, but there's no focus in the programs on tackling the problem of unemployment or an opportunity for individuals to network in the sense that they can create adult hookups in their lives and further their careers and receive guidance with economic decisions. Programs will be most successful in creating an inclusive environment if the children and youth involved in the program get to have a say in the decision-making process. It gives them a greater sense of commitment to the program because they themselves have put more into the program. Involvement and engagement is one of the pillars of social inclusion, and Right to Play does a very good job at including the entire community during the application process. However, besides the Youth Leadership Program and the Summer Sun Program, where the youth are the leaders, in the other programs, it is either the athlete ambassadors or adults in the community in charge. This leaves the children, the main target, with little autonomy in their own programming. Children in Aboriginal communities are entrenched into the lifestyles and norms of alcoholism and lack of education. They have seldom seen adults in their lives succeeding, which gives them a very narrow scope of possibilities. Right to Play aims to show these kids that they are capable of doing great things. The program works to promote value recognition and human development, 2 of the 5 pillars of social inclusion. Youth especially get to experience a sense of pride, accomplishment, and hope in the Youth Leadership Program. This is because they're able to directly see the impact that they are making on their own community. Right to Play uses a variety of methods to gather their results. These include group discussions, interviews, questionnaires, circle chats, observation tools, surveys, and creative drawing and writing activities. Although we know the tools that the Play program uses to evaluate and measure the impacts of their program, we do not know what their evaluation measurement criteria are. We don't know what types of questions the questionnaires and surveys contain, nor do we know the nature of the interviews or the group discussions. Furthermore, we do not know how the Play program measures the success or the impacts of their program. As previously mentioned, the Play program caters to the specific needs of the community. Thus, different goals and impacts will be observed from program to program, as each program may have different needs. With this comes the issue of measurement. How does measurement vary from program to program? Is Right to Play using the same measurement criteria for each program? If so, is this the best way to measure the impact of each program, or could they be more specific? A lot of the data that they publish to the public is on the attendance and participation. One of the only stats that they show any measure of social inclusion is the participation of girls in the program. This is good, but it does not give us a very good scope of how they promote social inclusion. So how can the impact of the program be measured? One of the goals of Right to Play is to promote inclusion. But how do we measure whether the program was socially inclusive or not? And is this inclusion limited to the period of participation? How do we determine whether inclusion is long-lasting and will exist once the program is over? Has the impact of social inclusion filtered into the community, or is it restricted to the program? All of these areas that Right to Play definitely lacks in terms of measurement. All of these questions are gaps that exist in Right to Play's measurement process, and this is definitely an area in which the Play program needs to improve. Before and after assessments and long-term monitoring and tracking of outcomes may be implemented to determine the effects of individuals and communities. By implementing before and after